So what is program aided language? So actually program aided language is also a prompt engineering framework. So here let's imagine a student where we ask this question, where student asks this question to an AI. So what is the sum of all even numbers between 1 and 1000? So actually a normal AI might try to solve it using patterns from its training data, but it may make a math error, it may forget steps, or it just guesses. Now imagine if the AI said, let me write a Python program to calculate it. So it writes the code, it runs it, and it gets the exact answer and then replies confidently. So actually that's what PAL. So here PAL stands for program aided language is all about. So let's explore this powerful prompting method. So what is PAL? So program aided language, which is also known as PAL in short, is a prompting framework where the AI solves complex problems by writing and executing code instead of solving everything through natural language alone. In simple terms, the AI doesn't just talk its way through a problem, but it writes a problem to get a precise and reliable answer. So the idea was proposed by researchers from Google and Stanford, I think in the year of 2022, to boost LLM reasoning using symbolic programming like Python. So why do we need PAL? Language models are great at explaining concepts and following patterns, but they struggle with math, logic, and multi step computation. So they can make errors due to lack of internal memory or precision. And also, they are not naturally good at symbolic thinking. Hence, program-aided language solves this by letting the model translate the problem into a code, uses that code to get accurate results and then respond. So now let's see how does PAL work. So actually programmer aided language process has three clear steps. First one, natural language understanding, which is NLU, natural language understanding. So the model reads the question and understand what needs to be solved. So actually NLU understand what the user is saying. So the second thing is program generation. So I explained more about NLU and NLG and NLP related terms in my natural language processing course. Okay, as of now, just understand natural language understanding is the way we interrupt the natural language where the model reads the question and understand what needs to be solved. Okay, so next comes program generation. So instead of directly answering, the model generates Python code or in any other language so to solve the particular problem. Finally it execute that program and it give the answer. So the code is executed and the result is returned as the final answer. For example, let's solve the math problem using program aided language. So if we given what is the factorial of 8, then a will respond like this. So let's solve this by writing a program and it given a simple Python program and then execute that Python program and it finally got an output like 40,320 and it given as a final answer. So actually instead of solving the problems through the pattern memory, the AI now uses real world computation. So now let's see real world applications of PAL. So program-aided language is extremely useful in tasks that involves math and arithmetic, data analysis, logical reasoning, and in education tools and in code agents. So when it comes to math and arithmetic, it is used for performing tasks like calculations, algebra, prime numbers. And when it comes to data analysis, it is used to perform statistical summaries, data sorting, and ranking. When it comes to logical reasoning, it is used to perform tasks like puzzles, truth tables, and permutations. And also when it comes to educational tools, it is used to perform tasks like automated homework solvers. And when it comes to code agents, they are used to perform LLMs that help developers to test or develop a code. So now let's compare program-aided language versus React versus chain of thoughts. So program-aided language uses code, but React won't uses code generation for the output. Similarly, chain of thought also. Next, logic accuracy is very high in program-aided language because we are using a code and we are running it and we are getting the output based on the logic that we written in the program. But when it comes to React, it varies based on actions. When it comes to COT, it may hallucinate steps. When it comes to output method, in programmated language, first code is written, then it is executed, we will get an output. But in React, first thought will be there, for that thought there will be an action, for that action there will be an observation, and this loop will go until the final answer is reached. When it comes to chain of thought, we will get an natural language steps. So it is very best for math, logic, programming task, and web navigation, interactive agents. So we have complex when it comes to chain of thought, complex reasoning problems. Now let's take an advantages of PAL, which is program aided language. So first one, it is very highly accurate because code execution give exact answers, like no approximations, hence it is highly accurate, so high accuracy. Second thing is better logic handling. So program aided language is great as structured math formulas and step based logic. So program aided language, another advantage is modular thinking. It breaks complex question into programmatic chunks. And the another advantage is reusability. So the generated code can be reused or edited. So the final advantage of program aided language is debugging and validation. You can test the logic by running and inspecting the code. Now let's see some of the limitations of program aided language. First thing, it needs code execution. Second thing, it depends on the language that we use, programming language that we use, and also it depends, it may require more complex prompts, and it is not conversational. So what makes program aided language so special? Because program aided language combine the best of two worlds. First one, LLM for language task, which may read, interprets and explain, and the second thing is code for precision tasks like solving, calculates and computation. Actually this mix bring logic and creativity together, making program aided language a superpower for AI agents that must be accurate, explainable and versatile. Now let's summarize the video. So program-aided language is a powerful framework that transforms language problems into executable code. It solves math and logic tasks with precision. It is perfect for education tools, agent, coders and developer. It helps bridge the gap between language and computation. So program-aided language does not replace your language model. It extends it, giving it a toolbox of programming language logic to reason better. So now let's see what is prompt chaining. So imagine you are building an AI assistant that can help a content writer to generate a blog post. But here's the twist. The user wants the assistant to find a trending topic, do keyword research, generate a blog outline, and finally write the blog content. So that's too much for one single prompt. So if you ask everything at once, the AI might get confused, miss something, or give a shallow result. So what's the smarter way? So the smart way is break the task into smaller prompts and connect them step by step. So this is called prompt chaining. So now let's define what prompt chaining is. So prompt chaining is a method in prompt engineering where you split a complex task into smaller manageable prompts where the output of one step becomes the input for the next. So that's exactly called prompt chaining. So it is a form of multi-step orchestration using language models. So why do we need to use prompt chaining? So large language models like GPT are good at solving tasks, but they work better when the task is simple and focused and the instructions are clear and specific. Instead of overloading a single prompt, chaining makes the AI more accurate, ensure step-by-step control, create more reliable and reusable workflows. So how does prompt chaining work? So now let's see step-by-step workflow. So first one, identify the task or topic. Use the output from step 1 to perform the next task and keep refining or expanding, collect and format final answer. So actually it's like a pipeline. So each output becomes a part of the next input. So now let's see some of the advantages of prompt chaining. So in prompt chaining we have a clarity, like each step is focused and easy to manage. And in prompt chaining we can maintain modularity, so you can use reuse or improve just one part of the chain. And also it is prompt chaining is like it allows scalability, which is ideal for building large multifunctional AI system. It will give better output because final results are usually more complete, rich and correct. And also it is debuggable, like it is used. Now let's see some of the limitations of prompt chaining. So actually more setup required, increased latency, error propagation, requires coordination. So now let's see where is prompt chaining is used. So prompt chaining is already used in frameworks like LangChain, AutoGPT or Baby AGI. Like they are used in workflow automation tools for LLMs. They are used in educational tools that explain one step at a time. They are used with chatbots with multiple rounds of information gathering. So now let's summarize what we learned in this particular video. So prompt chaining is a powerful way to get the best out of LLMs by breaking a task into small steps, feeding each output into the next prompt, creating logical, reliable and human-like workflows. So it's like turning your AI into a project manager. So one that handles tasks one step at a time, just like humans do. So whether you are building a chatbot, tutor, writer or agent, prompt chaining helps you keep control, quality and creative all at once.